guests on this week. We've talked about all the events and things that are going on in town, especially the live music. Oh, and the Winchester Little Theater but production of the play Third open, and I got to see it with my wife, and I highly recommend it. We talked about that on This Week in Winchester. So today we're continuing our interviews, and today I have Sue and Chuck Lair, and their business is called Clutter Troops. And Sue and Chuck, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
It's cold out there, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
Finally.
I know, finally, right? It was warm and now it's cold. People are probably putting away their summer clothes finally, or trying to look for their winter jackets and boots.
And Christmas decorations.
Oh, and Christmas decorations, that's
away.
another big thing. And you guys can actually help with a lot of that because you're the organizing solutions.
Right. Our company's Clutter Troops Organizing Solutions, and our motto is essentially restoring freedom through organization. And the Clutter Troops theme and restoring freedom and all that kind of was more or less Chuck's idea, but it was inspired by my time in the military. Chuck's sort of naturally been an organizer, and I think I learned a lot in the military from that. But yeah, we're the ones to help you organize and find a place for everything, and everything in its place.
Everything in its place. Yeah, I hear that a lot. But I can put my hands on things, but then sometimes my wife will try to organize me, and then I can't find things for a long time. I mean, do you see a lot of couples like that? They're kind of, one's one way and one's the other?
We do, and it helps with us being a team, a male-female team, which you don't get a lot in this industry.
Right.
Is
Many men all together.
Being able to get both sides together, because everybody is a little bit different and has different ways of doing things, and especially if your wife is coming in to organize you, I would maybe suggest, if you're a visual person, to maybe leave you a visual chart of where she put things, or if you want it written down, maybe she writes.
I'm going to write that down right now and,
Yes,
and kind of mention it to her. Funny thing, though, I mean, we're talking about organizing and how a lot of people have what's the word? Misconceptions
about what we do.
About what you do. So what I want to know, I'm going to ask you, what do people think you do? But this is not what you do. So tell me, what do people think you do, Sue?
Well, everyone has probably seen an episode of Hoarders.
Okay, or know somebody in their family who has a place like that, even if they haven't seen it on the show.
TV, right. And of course, that is a very severe, that's very extreme end of the spectrum.
Right.
But there are all levels of disorganization. Can be similar causes, a traumatic event, inheriting if you have a parent that dies and you inherit their belongings.
And you need to just get things organized like that. But
Right.
so people think you only come in and deal with hoarders, is that right?
A lot of them do, but we really can do something for everyone.
Okay.
We like to not just come in and do the job of organizing. We like our clients to be with us, to give them the process, kind of a tailored process, basically, that works with them, their style, their schedule, to help them manage what it is they want to do in a way that they will be able to continue. If you come and make all these massive changes and put all these expectations on people that are already struggling, it's probably not going to stick.
So it's like baby steps.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And what's the first thing that you always try to get somebody to do? Is it like clear off the table or clear off a counter? I mean,
well, every situation is different, and a lot of it is sitting down, discussing, figuring out the lifestyles that they have, and what they want with that particular room. A lot of times rooms become junk piles for no other reason than I didn't know where to put this stuff.
Right.
And there was a table there, so we just put it there.
And it's a catch-all.
So
exactly.
And that type of thing, we were already talking about the safety issue, but a lot of times when things are placed on stairs, for instance, as
Very
a catch-all,
dangerous.
that is extremely dangerous, whether you're younger or older, but you know, and people just don't know where else to put things.
Well, there's a lot of safety issues when you look at simple things like that brown jar in the back of the refrigerator that you're not quite sure how long it's been back there.
How'd you know I had that?
But it seems as though a lot of people have that.
Okay.
To the dangers of a cluttered garage.
Oh, right.
Right now, you've got 75% of all the garages in the United States, two-car garage, can't fit a car.
Oh my gosh.
Because people have so much stuff in it.
And it's stuff that they feel, well, I don't want to just throw it away.
Yeah.
But I don't need it, haven't used it, so I'm just going to set it here until that need arises. But more often than not, that need never arises. So
Right.
there's just everything kind of gets relegated to the garage, which becomes a safety issue. Sometimes even with garage fires, because if you're not back there, or moisture,
Right.
rodents.
Right, rodents, mold, all sorts of problems could
Exactly.
happen.
And your car's outside.
Yeah.
And just as you would go to, obviously, we discussed earlier, we don't cut our own hair. We
Right.
don't, go when we're sick. We go to the doctor. When we have specialists for everything in our life, and believe it or not, we're the specialists that restore the freedom to your household, that gets rid of the clutter, that allows you to find a way to live with everybody. Because that's another situation, is you've got 5 people living in one house. You and your wife and the 3 kids, and how do you all manage and live together? Everyone has their own thing. So we try to give people responsibilities, get everybody on the same team, and provide resources for them to do it, and ongoing training. This can't happen all in one day, one sitting, one time. We're members of NAPO, which is the
NAPO.
National Association of Professional Organizers.
Okay, and that's a national group. Are there certification, I suppose,
Yes,
and levels?
There's they have ongoing education through them, memberships. There's which is all the time. I wish I could take a course every other day.
Wow.
And I'm also a graduate from QC Design School, which is for professional organizers. It was set up for that particular purpose. So we've gone through a lot of training. So there's a lot of things. You're just not sure how to approach it. How do I go about starting it? And that's what a lot of people, how do I start with this mess? They become overwhelmed.
So when you first go in to meet somebody, do you come in with some boxes or containers and say, well, get started? No. You come in and have an interview.
An assessment, evaluation, because we have to talk with them about their expectations.
Right.
Find out kind of how ready they are. Some people are really ready to get rid of that stuff, and other people like, I think I'm ready.
Yeah. But you can probably tell just in their voice and by looking around. The evidence is there, especially for somebody who has some experience.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to. I'm curious when you over the holidays, maybe you're visiting family or friends. Do you guys like walk out of a place and go, "Oh my gosh, they need to declutter"?
We try to be very objective. It's not our responsibility to judge you.
Of course.
It is our responsibility to help you through the crisis that you're in.
Right.
And believe it or not, clutter is a crisis.
They say like a cluttered area is a cluttered mind, right?
Yes.
So I see that.
And it creates a lot of stress. It creates a lot of anxiety in households. And it also costs you a lot of money. A lot of businesses, and we like to do businesses, and a lot of people don't. Everybody thinks that, organizers are for your home. Right. Well, if you actually look at most of the research out there right now, you're losing about a week of every one of your employees.
1 week
a year. Due to clutter.
So I imagine they're looking for something, and if it was right where they knew it was and it was always there, they wouldn't spend the time.
Right. Yeah. Or reproducing a document that they don't know where they stored it in their computer. I mean, you have to think about, even digital organizing.
Digital organizing.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now we're not talking about putting things in boxes and putting them away, but you're talking about
filing systems. Whether a literal file, a digital file, because the numbers, the millions of dollars that were lost in businesses, looking for those things. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Time and dollars, and it does, and also on a personal level. If you need a hammer to do a job in your house, but your house is or your garage or where your tools are so cluttered that you don't know where that hammer is and you need it, you go buy another one.
Okay.
And then you end up with like 47 hammers,
Wow.
36 screwdrivers.
Right. And you don't need that.
And you don't need
No,
it.
okay. I don't know.
Well, Chuck might say,
it costs you a lot of money
Yeah.
to lose the things you already have.
Right.
And it's frustrating that you just went out and bought that new USB port that cost you $60,
Right.
and this afternoon you found the empty one that
Found the one that I already had.
you already
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
organization saves you a lot of money. And there's other parts of organization that you're not used to on a daily basis. And we do a lot of what we call move management.
Oh.
You have to move. You need a carpenter. You need a painter. You need an electrician.
You're
you need
saying
a
that
plumber.
because these are people who you have relationships with, and that makes a real difference for you're really advising somebody and sharing a trusted person.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And I know I have expectations on those people. I can follow up. You may not know that this particular person is responsible for
Right.
this or what we should. I can sometimes sit there and I will be with our customers throughout those consultations with
Right.
the other people to ask the right questions.
Right.
Does this need to be done? Does that need to be done? And staging a house for sale is a very important thing.
And you know, Chuck, I just want to mention, because we talked about this, but earlier I had Mover Dudes founder John I was here, and so I asked if you do help people with a lot of prep for the move, but then you know about Mover Dudes.
Absolutely.
I think that's
Yes.
great. Again,
And
we're
what
a small
yeah.
community, but we do support each other like
And
that.
we rely, they are an important part of our business because
That's great.
I will get it packed and ready to go. They have to make
They
the
have to
move
move
for
it,
us.
yeah.
So, and they've got much
Yeah.
bigger, stronger guys than me. So.
Yeah, we were talking about that too. And Susan, I just wanted to ask you, I know that you're involved in the community and in Rotary. And
yes.
This is just a part of the whole giving back to the community as a business and as a person in the community. Can you just tell me a little bit about how long you've been with the Rotary Club and what sort of efforts that you're most proud of there?
Sure. Well, my parents were both Rotarians, and I was a Rotary foreign exchange student in Norway for 1 year.
Wow.
Many years ago. But now that I'm settled in an area, I decided to become a Rotarian, and I joined the Rotary Club of Frederick County.
Great.
Great group of people. We have several ongoing projects. One is our wood. We provide fuel assistance in the form of cut wood that we tend to collect, and we have a wood cutting weekend every year.
Like firewood.
Firewood,
So you
correct.
guys are splitting.
Wow. Finding folks to donate trees, or sometimes they want, they'll let us take the wood if we come and cut the tree for them.
Oh, wow.
So we have, I think last year we provided 80 loads of wood, and we're probably going to beat that this year. So to a lot of folks that need fuel assistance. And that I'm very proud of. And we've been able to donate to other nonprofits in the area. There was one Able Forces we donated to support a military family for Christmas.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just it's a great group of people. We have the annual golf tournament at the country club in June as a fundraiser.
And of course you've gotten everybody organized.
Oh, absolutely. I came in there
Absolutely.
and whipped them all into shape.
And it must be even that type of thing. I'm thinking of the the loss of where did that flag go? Where did the the different things for
and
the
events we do.
The events, are they more organized now that you're on board?
Well, they were doing all right.
They were
without
doing
me,
okay.
But,
Okay.
but I'll just add to the group, I guess.
Right.
Keep them in line. But yeah, it's we're doing a pub and grub crawl in April.
Oh.
April 13th.
Okay.
And
Good thing to know about.
in May we're celebrating our 25th anniversary as a club.
Oh, fantastic.
In this area.
So
Yeah.
I really want to kind of like plant the seeds for having people come back to talk about other things.
Yeah,
you know, this
absolutely.
is kind of the introduction, and then the different, you know, layers of each of you. You know, you're not just Clutter Troops, you
Right.
know, and the fact that you're in Rotary and in the Chamber of Commerce. You know, we had somebody earlier this week, 2 people from the Chamber office, Jody and Emily, talking about the Greater Good Awards,
Yes.
which are happening at the end of this month on a Friday night. And I had no idea the number of people who attend that. Even though I went to one a few years ago as an ambassador, I didn't realize the numbers. There's over 400 people eating dinner there. You know, so you know, again, it's just like talking about things that are coming up, but they're going to probably come back on to maybe we'll talk with the winners of the different awards.
Right.
You know, so speaking about the Rotary Club, I want to have the opportunity to talk to you about before your 25th anniversary. That's great.
Yes.
And the Pub and Grub sounds great also.
Oh yeah, Pub and Grub Crawl. We'll get you more information on that
Nice.
As it develops. So yeah, that's looking to be, and it's like 2 days before tax time. So
so
what a
people
great
might
time.
be ready for that.
Ready for a break,
if
right?
they're organized enough and have
Yeah.
all their ducks in a row, so to speak. And with Clutter Troops, you kind of mentioned that Christmas time is a big.
Yes.
Is that one of the biggest pushes for people to?
It can be, I think, because if you're going to, and I know a lot of parents that do this already, they go through all the toys and things that their children have and donate
Right.
in preparation for, you know, anticipation of getting
Right.
new things at Christmas time.
Right.
But it's also organizing your Christmas decorations so they're not extremely difficult, you know, decorating
following
can be
year.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, or putting them away.
Right.
Or, you know, organizing them so when you get those lights out, they're not in a big wadded ball and you throw them away and go get a new one. They're all
I've done
in
that
water.
before.
Oh, I wouldn't know. Nobody
Uh-oh.
does that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to, you know, make things easier and
Right.
less stressful and more enjoyable and give you back your time to do what you want to do
Right.
and your freedom.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, on a personal note, you know, I couldn't find the Hanukkah candles, so I went and bought more. And then my wife said, "Oh, they're right here, right where I put them." And so it was that wasting. You didn't have to purchase something
Right.
if you knew where things
Where the other ones were.
Right, all along. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a busy time of year for you.
It is.
It is.
Yeah, and
great.
people are still, you know, despite maybe the slowdown or in moving, and sometimes in an election year, folks are a little less likely to move. They don't know what, you know, in interest rates, they're not sure. But we still have been getting folks ready, you know, setting up for open houses
Right.
to sell and things.
Even
so,
garage sales. you
yes,
know, people
garage
start
sales.
Thinking about
We
that.
can do estate sales.
Oh, you do estate sales? Wow.
Yeah, we can do that. We like to help folks get, you know, and it's another thing too, is sometimes what a person may think that something is worth, it might be worth to them, but
Right.
the actual monetary value
Right.
might not be that. That's
Right.
another network we have, is with antique dealers and
great.
people that you know are specialists in collections that we can give a real perspective on. This is what you probably would get for this.
Yeah.
Because that market changes all the time.
Yeah. So do you, besides Antique Roadshow, is that another show you guys?
Oh, sure. Love
you
that.
like that? Yeah.
And Pickers.
Pickers,
American
okay.
Pickers, yeah.
I've heard of that.
Originally they called me Frank because I was shorter, but now Chuck's got the beard, so he has to be Frank.
For those who know the show.
Yeah. Woo, right
Yeah.
over my head. But Chuck and Sue, is great having you guys on.
Thank you. This is fun.
Clutter Troops just sounds like an amazing way. Again, I understand what you're saying about giving people their freedom back. You know, having a
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind, less stress. I really like that.
We do what most people and businesses cannot do for themselves. That's get organized and stay that way.
Nice. And you know, there's just so many great tie-ins, you know, that we have here, because with Mover Dudes and John I, and you know, sometimes it's a business coach might actually advise their clients to connect with somebody like
Exactly.
you. And so I want to make an introduction for you guys there also.
That would be wonderful.
Be really nice. So here we are. Do you guys have a Clutter Troops cheer? for a send-off?
We have not developed one yet.
Okay,
so.
we'll work
Although
on it.
I'm working
We'll
on the
restore
froggy
your
cold
freedom
voice
through
too.
organization. Call us.
That's
Clutter
nice.
Troops Organizing Solutions.
That's
Yeah.
nice. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you, Gary.
You've been
Thank you
watching
so
Thank you,
much.
Gary.
Win Life Media here, WINLifeTV, and I'm Gary Auerbach. And this kind of wraps it up for our week of This Week in Winchester. We've had a lot of interviews and a lot of variety. And go ahead and hear some live music, support local artists and local restaurants. And we'll see you next week. I'll be back Monday morning at 10 a.m. on live stream. Actually, I'm always on live stream. So livestream.com/WinLifeTV. You can find all the interviews, not just of me, but other programs that we have here at Win Life Studios. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. And so Rotary's doing some good things. You're